Hey everybody, it's Jason from the Texas Gun Vault, and once again it is Sunday, and that means it's time for the Texas Gun Vault poll question of the week. And yes, I know some of you might be seeing this on Monday because I am filming this really late on Sunday because of one of the reasons that I mentioned in my poll. Because right now here in Texas, it is the middle of summer. It is the end of July and the beginning of August, and it has been weeks upon weeks of 100-degree temperature days. Yeah, it's really hard to be out here in the garage working and trying to make these videos when it is so hot outside. So that got me thinking, how many of you adjust what you carry on a daily basis? Because I know this summer I probably have not been as good as I should be when it comes to my EDC. Right now, the world seems like it's in a bunch of chaos and turmoil, and carrying a firearm for your personal protection, I believe, is really important, especially if you're doing it legally and safely. We've already seen what legal, law-abiding citizens carrying a firearm can do to prevent mass tragedies this summer. And we applaud Mr. Dickens, and that is awesome, and I'm glad that he was carrying that day. So we all should be carrying, but as I said, I fully admit I haven't been doing that myself, just because when it gets so hot, I really like to wear as light of clothes as possible, usually wearing a t-shirt like this and gym shorts. Yeah, that's kind of what I wear around the house and when I'm going out running errands, and it's not very conducive to using a lot of gear. But I was curious, do you guys have different levels of EDC? Do you carry the same thing every day? Do you sometimes forego carrying anything at all? But with that all said, let's dive right into this week's question. For this week's question, I thought I would lighten things up a bit. Let's talk about EDC, everyday carry. Here in Texas, we are in the middle of a long heat wave. It is over 100 degrees every day, and without a cloud in the sky, the weather is unbearable. Because of this constant heat, I find myself omitting and changing what I normally carry for EDC. I also know that many POTG, or people of the gun, also love EDC, such as knives, lights, and other accessories to be prepared. I find that wearing lightweight and breathable clothes limits what I can carry comfortably, even though I know it may leave me unprepared at times. In the hot summer months, do you change your EDC or even forego carrying anything at all due to the clothes you are wearing and the temperatures? So I think this is a really good question to ask right now. As I said, I am always working to be a better carrier of firearms and EDC equipment. The older I get, the more I appreciate things like knives and lights. And so I'm always trying to expand what I carry and find what works best for me. One of the things that I like to do on this channel that I know doesn't really get a lot of views are my EDC gear reviews. When a company sends me in a knife or a flashlight, I like to give each one my honest opinion. And I sometimes say, well, this one might not be perfect for me, it might be for you. And a lot of these items can come in really, really handy. And I also have said that people that like guns often like these other accessories because we just like to be prepared. So let's see what you guys had to say with this week's results. With 850 votes as of me filming this video, we have I carry everything I normally do, gun, knife, light, etc., 42%. I scale down, smaller gun or knife and maybe only one or two items, 48%. I stopped carrying EDC. I cannot carry it comfortably, 5%. Something else, explain in the comments, 5%. Well, I have to say that I think I kind of fall into all these categories at different times depending on my moods. But if I had to stick to just one, I would probably say that I slim down what I carry or carry nothing at all. After all, I say, well, if I'm just going up to the grocery store, man, I'm wearing these light t-shirts and gym shorts. I really can't carry a gun. I can't carry a knife. And I'm going to show you what I usually carry for EDC. And yes, that is probably putting me in a little bit of danger because because as you know, the worst place to be is needing a firearm for self-defense and not having it. And so I fully admit that sometimes I fall into that trap, and I really should do better, not just for me, but my family and the people around me, because you never know when a situation like what has happened a number of times over the summer could pop up, and you might be the one that can save lives or get yourself out safely from a very dangerous situation. But let's break every one of these down and let's talk about it, and I'll show you what I carry at various times of the year. First, we have I carry everything I normally do: gun, knife, light, etc., 42%. So when I'm thinking about carrying everything, I kind of have my top tier loadout, the stuff that is the biggest and the stuff that I think is the best to carry. I'm going to show you what I normally carry, and this is more of my fall and winter carry. So I'm usually carrying a gun that is about the size of a Glock 19. In fact, right here I do have a Glock 19 Gen 3, and it is in a Phobos Kydex paddle holster. I wear this a lot. This is very comfortable with Dockers or khakis, jeans, anything that I'm wearing a belt with. This is the perfect gun to carry. I always like to carry a compact size with good capacity. Of course, the Glock 19 has 15 rounds. The gun is extremely reliable. It's not too heavy. Of course, there's a lot better options when it comes to weight and size and capacity, but man, the Glock 19 is just the general standard, I think, here in the US. And so if I am carrying something a little bit heavier, I'm gonna go with the G19. Now, when it comes to a knife, I have really enjoyed using one of these Victorinox. And I forgot the exact model name of this one, but this is their largest size. It has a lot of different tools in it. I'd have to double check what the millimeter size of this blade is, but we have blades, we got scissors, we got different types of tools, and I found that these little multi-tools are actually a little bit better than just carrying a standard blade, just a fixed blade, because as I said, I got that big old blade there, but I got screwdrivers, I have different things to help me with can openers or any type of mechanism that I need to get open. Even if I use these tools the wrong way, they're just handy and dandy, and I can tell you that Victorinox makes some awesome Swiss Army knives. They're just great multi-purpose tools. And so this is pretty big, and in the fall and winter months, I can carry this with no problem whatsoever. And the light that I usually carry, as of right now, it's one that I have reviewed here on the channel. It is the ThruNite TT20. It is in blue. It's pretty big. It's not a tactical flashlight. It is a general purpose flashlight, but you could use it for tactical applications. If you had to hold it and have your gun up here and so forth, it'd be perfectly fine, but it's a pretty robust design. I like it. I like the controls. I think it's attractive, and it really is nice with this carrying case that was provided by ThruNite. So yes, I actually carry ThruNite flashlights. I say that in those light reviews, that this is the company that I have really grown to like a lot. I think they make great products. So that's my biggest one. And regardless of what level of EDC I'm carrying, I like to carry this Ridge wallet. No, I am not sponsored by Ridge Wallet. I know they have a lot of advertisements out there. They've never contacted me. This was actually a gift from my kids for Christmas. It has been durable. I love how minimalistic it is. I used to carry a bifold. It was just big, and when I'm wearing these gym shorts or even jeans, it's just a lot to carry around. And this Ridge wallet has been perfect. It is just the size of your credit cards or driver's licenses, has a little money clip there on the back. It has just been an absolute pleasure to carry. So I like these minimalist wallets, and this is what I carry all the time. So that's kind of my biggest setup. So now we talk about, I scale down smaller gun or knife and maybe only 1 or 2 items. So this is something that I definitely do, especially in the summer months when it is hotter, if I'm going out and I'm dressed up a little bit nicer, not just wearing my old t-shirt and shorts, right? If I'm wearing like khaki shorts or such, and sometimes you guys see me with the Hawaiian shirts, and I can cover a gun with those no problem when I'm wearing an undershirt. And so I do scale down for that. And one of my favorite guns to scale down on is the Smith & Wesson M&P Shield Plus Performance Center. This has the ported barrel, has great capacity. I think it's 12 or 13 rounds. 13 rounds on this magazine. Those are really nice. And I do carry it in a Falco holster, which I did review here on the channel from Craft Holsters. And it is a Kydex holster. And this thing has been great. It's minimalistic. It has a belt clip, and usually I will wear this when I am wearing some type of EDC belt, which I usually use Core Essentials belts, and occasionally with a lighter gun, I can do the Groove Life belt, but I do prefer the Core Essentials belt. So I do scale down on the gun. It's the same caliber as the G19, only 2 less rounds. It's lighter and a little bit smaller. Now, when it comes to my scaled down knife carry, this is my absolute favorite. This is the Spyderco Para 3, and it's kind of the smallest version of the military. They have the military, which is the biggest, the Paramilitary 2, and then they have the Para 3, but it's not the Paramilitary 3 according to the name, it's just the Para 3. And I love those camo scales. Yeah, so this is a fantastic blade. I have used it a whole bunch. It is made with a great steel. I can't remember what it is right now, but man, does it hold an edge. It is CPM S45VN, in case you were wondering. I know a lot of knife guys like to know what quality of steel their knives are made out of, and I do like how the liner lock is in the back and not the front. It has just been the perfect size for me to carry when I'm trying to scale down my EDC. Then when it comes to my light, I carry another ThruNite, and this thing has been well used and well loved. This is my ThruNite T1, and I always talk about this as kind of my usual EDC light. If I'm not going to be carrying a keychain light, this thing has been fantastic. I have dropped it and carried it in my pocket. The finish has held up pretty good. You can definitely see the wear. It has just been a great light, and it holds a charge for a very, very long time. So definitely a lot smaller than the full-size one. Fits in your pocket well, and as I said, great for scaling down. Then we have, I stopped carrying EDC. I cannot carry it comfortably, and so as I said, I do this occasionally, but sometimes I do have my lowest level of EDC gear that I can carry in these gym shorts and t-shirts. And this is when I scale down to this little guy right here, my Beretta 950BS, chambered in 25 ACP. Yeah, it's not a very good caliber for personal protection, but this is one fantastic pocket pistol or mouse gun, and I do carry it in just a holster that fits in the pocket. There is no clip or anything on this. This is just a pocket holster for this little tiny gun. It fits in there perfect, and this is just easy enough for me to throw in these light shorts, carry it if I have it. Is it going to get me out of a sticky situation? Maybe. I'd rather have a 25 ACP with 8 shots than nothing at all. So it's kind of a gun of last resort. But if I'm going to scale down to the absolute bare minimum, this is what I'm going to carry. And if you're going to carry something this small, make sure it is quality. These little tiny Berettas are awesome. I believe now they make the 21A in both 25 ACP and 22 long rifle. As I said, those are not great for self-defense, but they're better than nothing. And when I go super light, I typically don't have a knife on me at all, but I do have a light, and it is one that I have recently reviewed. It is on my keychain, and this is the Woobin G2. It's this flat little light right here. It's always on my keychain, so at least I always have this light. It's actually been pretty good. It's been pretty durable. I didn't know if the shape of it would get a lot of wear rubbing up against the keys and in my pocket, but it has been really a very nice light to have, and it doesn't accidentally come on like I thought it would. The button is here at the top, and it's pretty bright with multiple settings. So this has been a great little keychain light. So that's my ultra minimalist or nothing at all setup. And then finally we have something else explained in the comments, and I think pretty much people that would have voted for this were kind of doing what I would do and have this tiered option. So that was really interesting to see, and it really didn't surprise me that people do scale down, and I was actually surprised that a lot of people don't scale down completely. It looks like a lot of people try to have that first tier and second tier, where people like me might have that third tier, or sometimes be a bad boy and not carry anything at all. And yes, I probably deserve some criticism for that because I'm not prepared, and that's probably the time I'm actually going to need some type of concealed carry weapon. So that's my thoughts on all this, but let's see what you guys had to say with this week's top rated comments. And our top rated comment comes from a channel favorite, Brian Edgett, who says, I am one of the people that wears the same clothing year round. That is just the way I am. Being in North Texas, I open carry. Just in cooler weather do I have a jacket or overshirt on. Because of my job, I am not going to expose more of myself to the machines. And you know, I think that's really cool that he's able to carry at work. And the type of clothing that you wear is, of course, work compatible. So you have to make sure you don't have a lot of loose things if you're around heavy machinery or anything that can get snagged. But also, I can tell you right here in North Texas, it is so hot right now, even standing in the shade. And right now, according to my clock, it is almost 9 o'clock here at night, and I know the temperature in this garage is about 90 degrees, and the sun is still up outside. It's probably just going over the horizon right now, and I get a little bit of air from the room above me and the kitchen, which is connected here to the garage, but it's not a relief at all. So wearing anything heavier with long sleeves, it'd be unbearable. Our next comment comes from R. Rocco, who says, my EDC is a Glock 26 build. It's hard to get much smaller than that. A Spyderco Para 3, hey, it's my same knife, and a Streamlight Macro are also part of my carry. All pretty minimal items, I think. Being a skinny dude, I have to carry light year round. Well, that is also another thing to think about. Now, as I have gotten older, I have developed the tactical dad bod. Yeah, I need to lose a little bit of weight. I fully admit it, and I cannot wait for fall because my wife and I were going out bike riding every night. We were riding about 5 or 6 miles an evening, but when it is so hot, it's just unbearable. So I haven't done that in a couple of months, but I need to get back out there. But having this awesome tactical dad bod is a little bit more forgiving when it comes to the larger firearms. And I understand if you are really skinny and don't have a belly like I do, well, that can definitely be a problem trying to carry larger framed guns because they're going to stick out, especially if you're trying to carry concealed. And that's why I think a lot of skinnier people like to carry appendix style, which I'm not a big fan of because I don't want to point my firearm at anything I don't want to kill or destroy. And I got a couple things up front that I don't want to destroy. But I also understand that some people, that's just what they feel comfortable with and what they like. Then we have Keith Tate, who says, living in the Houston, Texas area, the heat and humidity are oppressive. My larger pistols are taken out of my carry rotation. Occasionally, I will only carry my pocket 380 backup, but generally I will carry 2 pistols, a knife, and a small flashlight at least. Wow, carrying 2 pistols. Now, I have never really carried a backup pistol, but I guess if you're wearing the right clothing, like a boot or something, or wearing boots if you're a cowboy, well, having that backup pistol would be pretty essential and it'd be easy to hide. But for me, I'm always going to have that one pistol. If I have anything as a backup, it's just going to be some extra magazines. But yes, I know it's hot here in North Texas and the Frisco area, but I know down in Houston, as you get towards the Gulf Coast, the humidity is crazy high. Then we have Chris, who says, same carry options as the rest of the year mostly. I actually find carrying in my summer clothes more comfortable than during our 3 weeks of winter. I like to know where Chris is from. He says 3 weeks of winter, so maybe he's in a place like Arizona, or maybe he's even out of the country. I have no idea. But for me, it's easier for me to carry if I'm wearing moderate clothing than light. And then finally we have my good friend Jack Mullins, a great friend of the channel, who says, I carry the same things I always carry. I wear light clothes and my gear is light. My EDC is a SIG P365 in an inside the waistband holster. It is comfortable to wear all day. And you know, I know Jack personally, and I think I've actually reviewed that specific gun. And it's a great gun. And those P365s are really small. And getting the right holster, I think, is also important. So if you're going to carry all the time, regardless of what gun, making sure you have that right holster is important. For me, I like these holsters that have these backings to them so they don't rub into my side. As I said, I got that tactical dad bod. So having that little bit of plastic here on the back and making sure the edge of the gun doesn't rub is really important to me. So there you go. That's what you guys think, and that's what I think about scaling down your EDC for summertime. Do you do it? And why do you do it? It looks like some people don't and some people do. I know personally, I gotta be better at it. So that is the Texas Gun Vault poll question of the week. If you would like to participate in next week's poll, please go to the community tab of my YouTube channel. I will also put a link in the description below. Go over there, see what the poll's about, vote, comment, and like other people's comments so we can get the top rated comments of the week. So let me know what you guys think. Is my philosophy of EDC wrong? I would love to know. Let's have a great discussion in the comments. So, as always, thanks for watching.